Am I the asshole for telling my fiance that he embarrassed me when he started singing the happy birthday song to his 5-year-old son at the restaurant? Surely you can't be this shitty of a person. Surely there's some kind of twist in here that makes you not this terrible of a person. We's gonna find out. I, female 30, have been with my fiance Ned, male 36, for a year and a half. You better keep him out of King's Landing. He has a 5-year-old son with his ex-girlfriend. They don't have a custody arrangement, but he has him most of the week because the mom is currently sick. His son is lovely, but I noticed that Ned takes him everywhere he goes, including places that aren't child-friendly, and we have an issue with that now, but we're working on it. Don't you normally take your kid with you wherever you go? What's the alternative? He's 5. You gonna get a sitter every time you gotta leave the house? His son's 5th birthday was days ago. Ned took us out to a restaurant to celebrate. The place was nice and looked a bit unfitting for the occasion because it was a somewhat expensive place. Anyways, we ordered food and then got the birthday cake, which was a surprise to me because I thought we were going to celebrate at home, so we could be free to sing and play however we wanted. I still had no issue with that till Ned started singing the happy birthday song to his son. I was so stunned I almost dropped my plate. He was singing it at the top of his lungs, not even looking around or paying attention to how many people were staring at us awkwardly. I felt so embarrassed I kept whispering for him to stop, but he ignored me. Of course, my future stepson was hyped and a little too active, which isn't good when we're at a public place. I expected the staff, the manager, anyone to get involved and stop him, but no one did. In fact, some woman came up to us and offered that she help him take a video recording. I wasn't in it at all. I froze in my seat looking stunned and a little angry. He looked at me later asking what was wrong. I didn't say anything except, "Thanks for finally noticing." He didn't understand what I meant and I didn't explain till we were in the car. I flat out told him that he embarrassed me the second he started singing in the restaurant. He looked shocked, saying he didn't get why I would be embarrassed by him celebrating his son's birthday and cheering him up. I told him we could have done this at home when we'd be more comfortable and free. He took it as in I was ashamed of him and his son, but I denied it and said that it just felt awkward and embarrassing to me because I've never been in this situation and also judging from the restaurant we were at. He said that his son's mom is sick and he's trying to do all he can to cheer him up and that all families do that and no one had an issue with that except me. Then when I tried to explain, he got mad and said he no longer felt like talking. We haven't been speaking since then. It appears he's still salty about me saying what I said and insisting that I see him and his son as an embarrassment. Am I the asshole? I think he's being too harsh with the whole ignoring me thing instead of talking it out. The title really summed it up. You're just that shitty of a person. Clearly, you don't understand what it's like to be a parent at all. Clearly, you have no interest in being a parent to this 5-year-old boy, and that sucks. That's also a deal breaker. So, Ned, this ain't your Catelyn Stark, man. This is not mom material, and if you're going to be with someone, you need to be with someone who is capable of being a mother-like figure for your son. This woman is so worried about what other people think of her that she's placing more value on that than she is your son's birthday. That, man. If you don't want to be with someone who has a kid, don't be with someone who has a kid. Every parent embarrasses themselves for their children. That's just how it goes. You have to be willing to put the needs and wants of your kid in front of your own self-respect. That just happens as a parent, right? It's like you cash in giving a shit what other people think of you for your kids. It happens a lot of the time. You have to be willing to go above and beyond for them. She's not there yet because she clearly doesn't have kids of her own, but they've been together for a year and a half. She should be used to the whole him being a parent gig, right? She should be used to kids being with them at restaurants. She should be used to birthdays. She just doesn't want to deal with it at all. She wants to date you. She doesn't want to be a mother-like figure to your son at all. I'm talking to OP's fiance. Oh shit, they're engaged. That's right. OP, you shouldn't be with someone who has a kid, period. OP's fiance, call off the engagement and run, bruh. This girl is not the kind of woman that you want to be marrying. If you're going to be embarrassed by singing happy birthday to a kid, I don't care how fucking fancy the restaurant is, you don't need to be with someone who has a kid. That's all there is to it. And you're definitely an asshole. How big of an asshole are you? Ascon scale here. As a reminder, Ascon 1 is the worst. Ascon 4 is the least amount of asshole that you can be. We follow the DEFCON scale. So Ascon 1 is no way you should have done that. You're a terrible human being. Ascon 2 is you definitely shouldn't have done that, but it doesn't make you a terrible person. Ascon 3 is you probably should have approached that differently. And Ascon 4 is you probably probably could have approached that differently. Maybe you're an asshole, maybe you're not. My gut reaction here is that this is an ASCON 1 offense. I may get a lot of disagreement on it. Maybe it's a 2 because OP just doesn't understand, but it's a kid, man. In that moment, she was driven purely by her own selfish thoughts and wants, and that she couldn't see past herself at all. She was made to feel embarrassed and was angry about how she was made to feel and didn't give a what else was going on. And that is an ASCON 1 offense. So yeah, OP, I'm going to go ahead and say that you're an ASCON 1 here. You're the worst kind of asshole that there is. Definitely don't date people with kids. Maybe you need to be doing a lot more work on yourself before you start dating anyone, period. Because right now you care way too much about what other people think. People in public who you don't know. You were engaged. I'm saying were because this thing's gonna get called off. You were engaged, so you obviously plan on marrying someone and maybe starting a family at some point. You're gonna have to stop thinking selfishly all the time. You're going to have to start putting other people in front of you, especially kids. I don't care if it's not your bio kid. If you're not willing to put your spouse's, your fiance's kid in front of yourself, then you shouldn't be with someone with a kid, and you probably shouldn't have kids. Maybe that's a journey you just have to go on. She's 30, and 30 is like the time when you start figuring life out, so maybe this is just a journey that OP needs to go on here, but this was an ASCON 1 thing to do, and this woman is driven purely by selfish desires, in my viewpoint. Tell me what you think, guys. Maybe I'm just a little jaded on this because I'm a father of 5, and one of those 5 is a bonus daughter. I'm not her bio dad, but I treat her just like my own daughter, and I put her wants and needs in front of my own. So maybe I'm just partial because of that. But tell me what you guys think. I'm going with ASCON 1 here, which is the worst kind of spicy asshole there is. So tell me if you disagree with me, or even if you agree with me, or even if you just want to say, hey, that's some kick-ass Kansas City Chiefs gear. Go ahead and comment. Better yet, share it with a friend.